Hello, everyone. Welcome in. All right. So, what will be the agenda for today? At first, the topic, as you can see, is for hybrid, blended, and remote learning, and how we can set up our classroom ready for such kind of learning. I will show a few examples of how other organizations implement such a model. But based on the agenda we have today, we'll start with a few basic topic for the synchronous and asynchronous learning, just to be sure that everybody is on the same page, because I don't know how much knowledge you have about the topic. Um, and as I mentioned, at the end, we'll open it for a Q&A session. So please use the chat down to type the questions. All right, so let's start with the first part of the webinar. When it comes to synchronous learning, um, we need to know a few basic things. For sure, it really happens in a real time with the instructor online, so in a concrete date and time. Um, Here, the idea is all the experience to be almost the same as in a traditional classroom. So the idea of asynchronous learning is to replicate the traditional way of teaching online. Uh, Really, the ability to communicate with all the participants and the teacher. It could be through audio and video connection. It could be via chat, as me and you at the moment. And all the learners, of course, needs to be online in a concrete time. Some of the most used platforms for synchronous learning, so, for example, platforms as Vedamo, Adobe, Big Blue Button, WizIQ, and LearnCube, those platforms are for higher interaction with the students. So you have a lot of tools to arrange them during the session, and some more basic ones for video conferencing connection, chat and screen sharing as Zoom, Skype, WebEx, and Google Meet. Um, so when it comes to asynchronous learning, it is self-paced learning. Usually, all the activities we do are part of a learning management systems, as let's say Canvas, Moodle, Schoolology, etc. But they can also be implemented in combination, a course, let's say, in a massive open online courses platforms as Coursera and Udemy, combination between different activities, videos, assessments, etc. But again, definitely for self-paced learning. Here, the difference with synchronous learning is at first, the only communication between the learners and the instructor is in written form. So it could be by email, forums, blogs, discussion panels, etc. It could be also via chat, etc., but at different time. Um, and it's not necessary all the enroll students for the current course to be at the same concrete time online. Here, the important part is if you want to have like a higher interaction and engagement with the students, the combination between asynchronous learning and synchronous learning gives a whole package for the students, kind of an online school, academy, or whatever we can call it. And the combination of both gives better results, of course. Today, we'll start mostly with online teaching in a virtual classroom for synchronous learning activities. So, And that will be our main focus during the webinar, of course. So let's play a short video from a real session so you can see how exactly it works. And later we're going to discuss what we saw.
On the left and put them at the right place on the pictures. Okay, excellent. Now we'll have a movie. Do you like movies? Okay.
Merry Christmas.
All right, who knows the answer?
The answer is winter. This season is winter.
Excellent, this season is winter. Now, shall we try another exercise? Now we have to choose the letters to see how you spell. Now this is teamwork, so help each other. And I'll give you some time. Some letters around. All right, excellent. Now, so first, it is raining. Excellent.
It's raining.
The correct word is hot.
Excellent.
Okay, so as you saw in this video, um, the important part is interaction between the teacher and the students, so they can work together, do activities together, they can see each other, have a discussion on the same way as in a physical classroom. So that's the idea. And here again, depending on the platform you are using, you need to use all the tools and features the platform provides to engage the students. Um, and mm, the next thing we're going to discuss deeper is what we actually need to organize such a session. At first, of course, when it comes to be online, the first requirement is to have access to an internet. So be sure you're closer to the router. Um, so you've got a better connection. If it's possible, always it's better to use a cable internet. If not, just be closer to the router. Um, Use a computer or a laptop. Of course, most of the platforms work with mobile devices as well, but when it comes to an online session, from pedagogical perspective, is always better to have a bigger device. So focus on that as well. And as a requirement here, it will be really great if you can use a headset, because it isolates all the background noises around, and have a better experience for you as a teacher and for your students as well. Um, so those are the requirements. It's not a rocket science. I'm sure you know that. And we're going to jump on the next topic for today, which is the hybrid teaching model. From all the conversations I've already had with different teachers all over the world, maybe the hybrid teaching will be the future of education, or something really as a hot topic for the next 5 to 10 years. Um, so the hybrid teaching model is a combination between physically uh, teaching in a traditional classroom and students online, or it could be also turn around. Teacher can be online with part of the students, part offline. So the combination of both, it's a hybrid teaching model. Um, and again, it is a necessary thing. Doesn't matter if you're physically or online in the session, to be together in a concrete time. Today, I'm going to show you a few examples how different organizations implement such of a model into their practice. I'll start with one school based in New York, Northern Academy of the Arts. So they at first started fully online, And when they start back at school, they try to organize a hybrid model, because now, not only because of COVID, of course, but always, if you think we'll have students who will be not joining the class or school because of illness, because they're traveling, or something else is happening. So it's really great to have such a flexibility when you offer hybrid teaching model. And I'll play a short video to see how they actually use it, and we'll discuss it then.
We can do it as a hybrid teaching tool. So what is happening is I'm going to teach online and on-site at the same time. I will use the Vadamo whiteboard. I'll project it in the classroom. So I'm in the classroom talking to the students, but I'm not physically using markers to write on the whiteboard. Instead, I'm using my writing pad and write on the Vadamo whiteboard. And it's projected so the online students can also see it. And when I have an extra computer, I can log in Vadamo from that computer, also facing that computer's camera to the on-site students. So basically, online students can see on-site can see online. It makes the whole learning experience for the online students much better.
Okay, so what exactly is happening into this current school? They use these kind of smart boards into the physical classrooms, and they connect this smart board here with the online whiteboard in the Vadamo virtual classroom. So when a teacher or some of the students into the physical classroom are writing on the smart board here, it appears directly in the virtual whiteboard as well. So the students who are online using their devices can see the same content, and if the students online are writing something, it will appear on both places simultaneously. So it makes really the whole process to look like the same classroom, and the only difference between both groups of students is the location. For better experience, usually the teacher is with a microphone. It's not necessary to be such a microphone, of course, it's just an example. But when you have a microphone and walking in the physical classroom, it gives an option for the students online to hear everything. And in their case, they use such kind of a camera just to show and project all the physical students online for their peers. But again, it depends on you. If you do not have such a setup, you can use uh, another, just turn around the computer's camera or something like that. We have another case similar to this, but with a simple setup. So their case is almost the same, but instead of the smart boards, they're using TV screens. So this is a math school in Massachusetts, after school program. So here the interaction again is almost the same, but the setup is different. I'm going to play a video to see how it works in their case.
We started using it in the third mode. We call it high flex, where we have some students sitting in the classroom and some students attending the same classroom through online platform. We have big screen TVs in each classroom, the monitors, big monitors, and we have a high resolution camera pointing to the whiteboard. So the students who are attending our classes online, they see teacher, they see students working on the board. They hear everything that is happening in the classroom. So it's fully integrated environment. They are part of our classrooms. And we see that that particular mode will continue.
Okay. So here the difference instead of the TV screen is also when a teacher is writing on the whiteboard in the physical classroom, the only way for the students online is to hear it via TV screen. And here you can see the whiteboard from the virtual classroom is also projected for those students who are physically into the classroom. So the online students are writing directly there. The next topic and way of teaching is the blended learning model. So what the blended learning means? It could be when, for example, we are physically into the traditional classroom with our students, do our regular lesson, and we give some homework for the students online. For example, to assign their assessments in, let's say, Google or in um, Teams or whatever it is. So the combination between offline and online makes the learning process blended. Or another example can be a flipped classroom. For those of you who are not familiar what the flipped classroom is, it's when you, for example, give some materials to be read or something to be researched anytime before the real session. And then when you meet your students actually you can start your session with a higher interaction because the whole lesson will be one step further. And also another blended teaching model is when students are physically into the classroom, but they have their own device and connect online with different teachers or tutors. And this is a model I'm going to show you just right now. It's the use case of Action Tutoring. They're UK-based organization, charity organization, and they provide tutoring for the kids there. So how it works, I will play again a short video to demonstrate.
Delivered online to help kids catch up. It was already happening at this primary school, but now many more pupils across England will get this one-on-one support.
You don't know whether to put your hand up and say, oh, I know the answer, because you don't know how everyone's going to react. Where in the tutoring, because it's one-to-one, you don't have to be like scared of putting. During the pandemic, you can still learn a lot of stuff, and you cannot.
With before.
Kind of, and you don't have to worry about other people thinking, why is he asking that question?
There's hundreds of millions for this sort of tutoring targeted at those falling furthest behind. These sessions are run by a charity that uses volunteer tutors.
Promising starts from our.
Okay, I think you've got the idea. What's the necessary setup to implement such a model? So all the kids are physically into the classroom. They use usually this computer room. Each of the student got a separate device, but online they connect with different teacher. So each of the students is doing a separate work. And this makes the model blended as well. The blended teaching model also can be organized if you physically keep the students in the classroom and we have an online presenter or a guest lecturer or something like that. For example, if I play a short example from a kindergarten, how the model works.
Are you ready to start our trip? Okay, our first stop will be this. Very well. And what about this one? Take a look at the animals. A chef, okay. What about this one? Now, put the plasticine inside the cup. In. Okay. Under.
Okay, so what they actually doing, they do some activities online, and also there is a practical activity for the students on site as well. So this combination, again, it's a blended learning model. It could be, let's say, if we are in a language center or a language school, and we invite a native speaker to present something online as well. So pretty briefly, those are the main things I wanted to share with you today. So of course, the topic is kind of unlimited. So if you have any questions, please type them into the chat down here. All right, so thank you for your time. It was pleasure meeting you, kind of invisible. Follow us for upcoming webinars, trainings, and demo sessions. And take care. Bye-bye.